Hey everyone, so today I'm doing a lesson on Momo from My Hero Academia. So you might notice this one's in color. So the first half is going to be the ink side, and then I will show you how I do the coloring, and I figure if you guys like it, I'll keep doing it. Let me know in the comments on Instagram if you like it. If you're like, hey, stick with ink, then I'll probably just stick with ink. So let me know. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. I do art lessons all the time. And give me a follow on Instagram. And last of all, check out my books. They're on josephstevenson.com. They're all books that I've done myself, so hope you like them. And let's get going on our lesson. All right, I've started with a border, so that way I can know where to stop with Momo. So let's start. I'm gonna do things a little bit different today. Normally I kind of start with the head. I think I'm gonna start with her body though, and that way I kind of know there's enough room. So I'm gonna do kind of a line right through here and curve it around, and this is gonna be her shoulder, her left shoulder, but since she's facing us, you know, it looks like the right one to us. And then just come down like that, and kind of like that. Let's see, on this left shoulder, I'm gonna come down. We're gonna end up having her arms kind of be somewhere in here. So I'm just kind of sketching out like a basic torso. I don't know for sure where it's gonna end up, but I just want that there so that I can then do her head. So kind of just add in her torso. Just main thing is the shoulders right there. And then the neck's gonna just come up a little. And then we can start on the head. So I want to focus on the head still, but I want to make sure that I have like room for everything. So I'm gonna start with her head, and her head shape is kind of a basic anime head. So essentially, kind of a pointed chin. It comes down like that and up. And then the rest of her head is just gonna be rounded, just like that. It's gonna give us kind of that basic shape. Her eyes come right through here, and her mouth is gonna be following the contour of her chin, essentially. So I'm gonna do just kind of a smiley face. Her mouth is gonna be open, so just right across like that. And then we'll come up here. Let's sketch in her ears. Go right on that side. And we'll come over here like this. And again, I'm just trying to get kind of like the basics sketched in, and then we can get more details and make sure it looks like her in just a second. So I think on the mouth, I might even just make it a little bit bigger, just like that. Her nose is gonna come right in here. So let's go back up to where the eyes are gonna be. So with her eyes, do just a curved line right for the top. Just gonna have a little bit of an eyelash that goes right there, and then down, just like that. And then the pupil of the eye is gonna just be a kind of egg/potato shape right there in the middle. And then same thing on this side. So we'll start about the same distance. And she has these like real pretty anime girl eyes. So they're not weird shaped or anything like that. They're kind of what you would expect from a pretty girl kind of thing. So, and I'm gonna just sketch in this pupil a little. And so far, I think from a dimensions standpoint, that's what I want it to look like. Her eyes are very like rounded too, so even though I'm not going to totally go in on that side too much, I want it to look right. Her eyebrows are very thin, so I can just do a line like that and a line like that. And actually, I got those a little too pointed. It almost makes her look angry. She's not angry in this, so let's just not make them go too pointed. And that way we'll be okay. All right, let's do the hairline. So the hairline is gonna start right about here. And she's got this wild hair. And so we'll do her hair that kind of comes down here, out, around, and down. It's gonna give us a bit of her craziness on this side. This side is gonna be the side where she has kind of the strand that goes down, just like that, like that. And then we'll come over here, and she has that ponytail, so we can kind of sketch in by just rounding down here, like that, all the way down to the ear here. And then on the inside of the ear, it's going to kind of come up. And then she's got this, like her hair kind of has these like, her hairline has like these spikes that do this thing. So it's pretty cool. And just kind of add those spikes in, just like that. That's pretty close to how I want it. And then last of all, so let's see, down here, her neck, it's gonna kind of come like that. And on this side, kind of like that. And then we're gonna have her ponytail come in. So her ponytail has kind of these like super jagged points. So we're gonna just sketch in these little shark fin points right in there. So let's see, let's bring all the way down like that. And then we'll just keep on bringing them. They all kind of go the same direction. So we just keep on kind of bringing them down and bringing them into these points. Just like that. And moving them up and kind of bringing them up into this ponytail that she's got going on. Just like that. And actually, I'm gonna add a border up here too, just so that I don't end up going off the paper, and we just probably won't be doing a ton of her hair in this one, but that's okay. So yeah, like that. I think I'll probably even just have that one, and maybe there's a little point that goes like that. And then we're good. I think that's all we're gonna fit of her crazy hair, but that's totally okay. All right. And then we can probably, might as well just add in this one too. Why not? We'll just have a full border on this one. All right, so I think hair-wise, face, I think I'm pretty okay with the look that she's got. With my ink, I can kind of make sure that the shape is what I want. It's really important that if you're doing a character and you want it to look like that character, you'll want to make sure that like you get their face correct and get their general like eyes, nose, all that in the right spot. Because if you don't do that, people are going to be like, that's not Momo. So, but again, that's also why I start with pencil, so that I have room for adjustments. So now I'm just doing her collar. Doing the collar just like that. I'm not gonna do her hero outfit. I'm gonna, for reasons that my channel is always gonna be like kid appropriate, and yeah, I think there would be some parents that would not be super happy if I did her superhero outfit. That's a little revealing, to say the least. So, all right, we'll add her tie in. And her tie is gonna curve even more. We're gonna have a curve down like that. And go into the point like that, up, and follow it back through just like that. Okay. And then her chest, start her chest here. It's just gonna curve around like that, down to the tie. And on this side of her chest, probably about like that. We'll have her tie kind of ruffle like that with the rest of her shirt. And then more ruffles and bring it back over to here. So then here, we'll bring down her waist on this side, add a ruffle there, and these ruffles are just how the shirt's gonna be, just like that. All right, arms, let's add in the arms. I think her waist is way too thin. So I'm gonna do exactly what I was doing there, just like that, and then bring it like that. Like I said, that's why we do pencil. I want it to be accurate. Okay. So now, up here, we're gonna have kind of where her arm goes. That. Now, I'm gonna do her fists, or her hands. Her hands are gonna be kind of in a fist. So I'll just go up like that. We're gonna do kind of like a Z pattern, just like that, down and over. That. There's finger 1, finger 2. This is her middle finger, or finger 3. Just working my way up. Finger 4 is gonna kind of be a different shape. Down like that. And then down like this. And then we're gonna come down to form her elbow. Just like that. Bring it up and in. And we could, so like she's only got 4 fingers, you could say, well, her thumb is back here. I'm gonna just have her thumb stick out right like that. There we go. All right, let's do the other side. So we're gonna have double fists, like she's ready to fight. So let's add in things like that. Okay. So on this fist, same thing, just mirrored. So I'm gonna start with, do the same kind of Z shape, like that. I wanna make sure sure, so it's gonna be a little closer, so it's gotta be a little bigger. We don't want it too big and then it looks like we've got abnormal arm shapes. So go like that, all the way down to form the elbow. Make sure that this elbow looks natural and a normal elbow up. To form this hand. Come up here. All right, and then let's do, so we'll come, let's see, I like that. Just thinking, okay, that's the finger. Then first finger is gonna kind of like that. Next finger is gonna be right in here. That one in. Next finger, or the middle finger, right in like that. And this one's gonna pop up too, just like the other one. And down into this fist, like that, and let's just add her thumb like that. And that's gonna give us, just like that. Come over, bring her shoulder in. Shirt down, and then her arm, just like that. All right, she's got those like black stripes on her shoulders. So we'll add those in up here, over here. I think I'm gonna make her tie black. So I'm gonna bring though her shirt, like the buttons right down through here, and a couple of just lines for detail. What do you think? I think it's close to ink time. So I think overall, let's see, am I happy with that? I think I'm ready for some ink. So I think on the ink, I'm gonna do her hair all the way black, just because that's gonna be fun. I'm trying to decide though, because it's really gonna blend all this together. We're not gonna see her head like I want to, so scratch that. We'll do the border black and we'll do the inside with some hatching. So let's just start filling in. I'm just gonna keep my lines nice and smooth with her hair, because her hair is smooth. Imagine that. That's the reason. All right, let's keep going, just like that. All the way down. There we go. Do her ear, go up to there, and like that. We might as well do her chin. So I just bring it down like that. And on this side, like that. I always worry when I do the chin, I'm gonna like really mess it up or something. Let's go ahead and do her neck. Like that. I am gonna do her skirt and her tie black. So I'll just keep on sketching in all these basics. I'm not even worried about doing the knot more detailed than that, because I am gonna just fill this all in. I'm gonna leave that part dark, and I guess I'll just leave that like that. Okay, we'll come back to that. Let's do the crazy part of the hair. All the way down. Trying to do smooth lines. Let's get a little better angle. Just like that. And you know what? I'm right here, so I'm gonna just do this top border. And just knock out these borders real quick. Might as well. It's nice to have them done. Nice to essentially know where I'm gonna stop. And I don't accidentally draw right over the top of them. I have done that quite a bit in my life. And I've hopefully been learning my lesson, but all right, we'll do that. Let's do some of these basic shapes. So that's gonna go right there, go down and in. I just want the main lines to be done with the marker. Just want to follow all my pencil sketching. I've got a little wavy right there. Just a little bit. Up. And we're just following the pencil, following what we've already done. Right through, up and over. Get these fingers in there. That finger, that thumb. Okay, we'll use our thicker pen for that the other part of the fingers. So come down here, just like that. Up, in. Just following my pencil. I don't have to follow it perfectly, I'm just following it. That'll give us those. All right, I think maybe we just add that in. I think that's pretty good. Let's do the tie black and the little stripes on her shoulder black, and her skirt, and we'll do her skirt black. I'm just gonna fill these in. We've already got the marker out. Might as well fill them in before we get the pen out to do the rest of the detail. So, all right, that. Go down and just color all this in. Nothing to it, right? Just color all this in. For a second, I thought I just went right out of the line there. All right. Here. And let's do this skirt all the way black. There we go. I've gotten a few requests for Momo, so I thought it was time I drew her. So here she is. Hopefully she turns out right. All right, I think I'm good on the marker. So let's get our thicker pen out and let's do some details. So I'm gonna do her eyes. So with her eyes, I'm gonna just use this thick pen and just trace what I've already done. So thin eyebrows. Curve as like a I am happy to see you type of eyes. These go like this, and then we're gonna add just a little line like that, and then down. So just typical pretty anime eyes. Okay. The next thing we'll do is down here, we're gonna add 4 eyelashes that come down just like that. And then for her eye, we'll bring it around like this. Around like that. And then she's gonna end up with a pupil right in there. Okay. Let's do just a small line above there as the highlight. And her nose is just gonna be a tiny little line there and like that. All right. Let's do the other eye. So on the other eye, we're gonna just same thing, curve like that. Just a pretty eye, a little bit of a point on that side. And same thing on the highlight. So we're just coming down around. I've added kind of this little line in here that's going to be for her, for the light highlight there. All right, bring that one down around. Let's add just a little line there, and then 4 little eyelashes. Okay, now for her mouth, just very feminine, detailed, open mouth, just like that. Did I say detailed? I meant not very detailed, just open like that. All right, I like the way that looks. Let's see, let's do a little bit more detail on the face. So we'll do her ear, just come down on that side, and come down like this, up and around, and the inside like that. Her hair goes all the way kind of down like that. Okay. On this ear, I'm bring the hair in a little closer, and then same thing. So bring it like this, down, and like that. Okay. What else do we want to do on the face, if anything? I don't know that we need to do much more. I think we're good with that. So I'm gonna add in some of this, some lines right through here. Add in just a few detail lines that I want to kind of show through. So she's got her hair pulled back in like this ponytail, and it kind of creates this, like these lines that kind of pull it back. So we want to leave those in there. We want these to stay nice and pointy in, just like that. And then we'll come back and we're gonna kind of do this real dark because she has dark hair, but I still want the directions to be correct. So we'll leave them like that. All right, let's add a little bit of detail on like her hands. I kind of want them to stay somewhat dainty, so we'll just make those a little bit pointed. Maybe just add in a couple little lines on the ends. We'll call that good. Let's move over to her shirt. So her shirt has some creases in it, so we want those to show. Just creases where it's gonna fold and pleat. We need those all in there. Otherwise it's gonna look odd, look like something is missing. So we just need a little bit of detail. Just a few creases here and there. I think I don't want to overdo it, so I think from a crease standpoint we're good. I'm gonna get my marker out. I'm gonna just add a shadow underneath her chin, just like that, just a full dark shadow. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna stick with my thick black pen and we're gonna do some shadowing or shading in on her mouth and her hair. So with the mouth, I'm gonna just go do straight lines right through the mouth like that. And we'll go sideways, just a tiny bit of cross hatching. I'm gonna leave it just like that. I'm good with that, as is. All right, next, let's move over to the hair. On the hair, I want to kind of create a darker shadow down here. So in order to do that, I'm gonna kind of just add in a couple lines like this. And this is gonna give me a bit of a line in terms of what sections, areas I want to be dark. On these, I'm gonna do like the top portion of these and this real dark. And I'm still gonna do the whole thing dark, but I essentially want some to be real dark and some to be not as noticeably dark, but still dark. So let's start going through, and I'm just filling in most of this all the way dark with these lines. I want all this to kind of blend right in here, because the light's going to be kind of coming from this direction. Let's do underneath here the same way. Just line work straight through. And we're good. We're good on that. So now underneath here, so I'm gonna just do line work all the way in, thick. I want it to be dark, almost completely filled in, but with just a few details, a few white lines that kind of show through. That is the goal. We'll see how it turns out, but I think it's gonna be cool. So as you're doing this, find an angle that works with your hand that you like. I generally will kind of move the paper around to fit an angle that feels comfortable. If it feels comfortable, then it's gonna be a lot easier for you to do, straight lines. So let's just keep on filling this part in. And after this, I'm gonna go to a little bit thinner of a pen. So we'll still fill in dark, but because it's gonna be thinner, it's gonna create different lines, different strokes, and those different strokes are gonna give it a sense that there's light shining on it. So it'll make it feel like all of her hair is really dark, but with the line differences, it's gonna feel like there's light shining on her dark hair. So that's how you do that trick, is different pen sizes. I like to work dark first and then move over to the lighter ones. So I think that's good. And let's move on. Okay, so let me get my thinner pens. Let's see. Thinner. Nope, that's too thin. I think I'm gonna go right here. So I can start in areas that are gonna be smaller and kind of make sure it's the right size. So like on her ears are kind of behind the hair, so I'm gonna fill them all the way in with that pen. And I'm good with kind of the overall style of that, so we'll do that. I'm also gonna do like a secondary shadow underneath, so that way it kind of looks like she's got the main shadow from her chin, but then that her face and hair kind of cast another shadow. So most of the time I only do one. You can kind of see if you just do a little bit of goofing off with secondary shadows, it can kind of make a huge difference. I'm gonna do underneath the collars. And just start filling in the rest of the shadows with this pen that is a little smaller. Let's do a little bit of shadow on her chest, and we're gonna just do like a pointed out, almost like it's a bird with wings, just like that. We'll leave it. And then we're gonna come right across and just shadow right through the front and right out the other side. And I'm gonna kind of shadow this as a bit of a heart shape. So I'm gonna bring it down right through the shirt like this. And when I say a bit of a heart shape, essentially it's gonna kind of go up and over and just stop like that. Let's shade where these pleats are. I don't want to go like too fast with my shading because then it can get sloppy and really mess the picture up. So take your time with it. Let's do the inside of this hand and just down this side of the shirt. That's good. Let's add in where I think there would be a bit of a shadow right over here. This arm back here is going to be shaded at the inside of that finger. Maybe a little bit on the thumb here. Do a little bit on this thumb and finger. Sometimes you're guessing. Sometimes you're just like, well, I think so, that there'd be something there. So I'm also going to like add a secondary light circle to her eye right here. I know I just totally moved into the eye, but I know I'm tired of looking at them thinking, hey, those don't quite look right. So I'm gonna just shade the top of them a little darker than the bottom. I'm gonna cross hatch her eyes right through and not really follow all the way down. And that'll essentially make the top of her eyes darker than the bottom of her eyes. Let's add in on her head up here a little bit of shading that just comes down here. I totally forgot to fill this in, so I'm gonna just do that, and if I keep the pen close to itself, it'll kind of match the other one. I wouldn't want to do that with a whole bunch. It would mess up my plan. I'm gonna just shade a tiny bit over her teeth, not much, just so that it looks like they're inside the mouth, not falling out of her mouth. Let's do some shade down here on the underside of her arm. Anything else I'm missing? I'm just kind of trying to look, erase a little bit of the pencil. I'm trying to, sometimes with the pencil it can be difficult to like see what, if anything, I'm missing in terms of my shadowing. On the face, same thing. A whole lot easier if I can just see what's going on. All right, Momo, I think you're looking good so far. Now this is going to be a bit of a longer lesson, but whenever I do this much detail and this size of a picture, it just takes a while, and I don't really want to speed it up. You can always, just fast forward or skip to wherever the part you are at, but I try to somewhat make it realistic, not fake. There's nothing worse than like a fake lesson where it's like, oh, it's super easy, it didn't take any time at all, It's like, sure it didn't. All right, let's go up here now and kind of create a few more shadows with our pen. Just up and down. That, actually go a little farther, just like that. What else? Are there any other shades, shadows? Maybe I'll just add in a little like that. I think that's pretty good. Now I'm gonna get my really thin pen and I'm gonna fill all of her hair in. And so you might be like, oh, that's not really gonna look a whole lot different. Maybe it won't, but it's sometimes just the very small things that can make a huge difference. So I'm making these broader strokes, and I'm gonna actually, just for fun, kind of stop there, switch this around, and come in from this direction. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually not fill in this area all the way. I'm actually more comfortable kind of doing something like this. So I'm not gonna fill it in all the way. I'm gonna just create this look of shine in her hair by not completely filling in all that. So see how it kind of creates that light right there, which is really fun. So I'm gonna do the same thing over here. So I'm gonna fill this in, but then I'm gonna kind of mentally just stop somewhere in there and just not follow all the way through. It's kind of fun how that's gonna just give an additional kind of shimmer to the hair. Hair can be tricky because you want it to be realistic, but if you don't quite get, especially with ink, I love using ink because if you look really close, you can tell it's totally an ink drawing, but if from farther away, it could totally be anything. It could be a lot more realistic than that. So, all right, I'm gonna fill all this in. I may just leave a little bit of empty spots here and there. I'm not worried about planning my empty spots because your eyes will kind of fill it in and automatically make you just replace that area with light. So that's kind of fun. All right, so we'll just keep going. Good on through, just like that. Get up here, I'm gonna maybe add a little light on that too, so we'll just fill these in, just like that. I'm gonna flip this so I can get a slightly better angle, like that. And just keep on filling in. Using my smallest pen that I've got, so it's gonna consistently give me thin lines versus my other ones that are obviously much thicker, much harder to do details with. This one is very forgiving because worst case I can just do more lines, you know? What do you think? I think her hair is looking pretty good. Pretty close to what I'm expecting. All right, where am I at shadow-wise? I feel like her shirt might be missing some things. Can't be sure. I kind of feel like maybe there's a little bit down here, a little bit on that crease. That's pretty good. Maybe some that comes down here, just a little shade, just like that. Don't want to overdo it. I don't want to go crazy. I might almost be done with her, honestly. I'm gonna add just a bit of like scraggly stuff to the outside. I never like my ink work to just look so smooth that it looks like it might have been drawn on like a computer or something like that. like you would a coloring book or something, because it's not, you know, it's not a coloring book. Otherwise, we wouldn't do any shading. Well, who knows? Maybe I could just do these and not shade them and make them into coloring books. You should let me know. I don't think though I can sell them because I don't own these anime characters. So I'm just, this is what you call fan art. And that's totally okay, but if you start like trying to sell, sometimes it can get a little hairy. Most of the time they don't care, but if you're making a bunch of money selling them, then they could have a problem with it if you don't, do the proper licensing and all that stuff. So all the anime characters in my book are original. I just on these videos tend to do characters people know because that's what they want to learn to draw, and it's kind of fun. So I think we are done with Momo. I think I am happy with the way she looks. I think she's pretty. It's a pretty accurate portrayal of her. And so I hope it's been fun. If you haven't, make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you give me a follow on Instagram. That way you know when I do my next lessons. And leave me some comments on Instagram. Let me know what you think. Let's get her sign. We'll just sign right down here. And actually, I am gonna be doing another video, and I'm gonna test this out because I don't know how people are gonna feel about it, but I'm gonna be doing a little bit of coloring on them and showing how to do different coloring techniques. So I'm gonna do them separate because, to be 100% honest, I'm worried that I'm gonna totally mess the picture up. And if I do, at least I've already gotten the ink part done. So that's why I'm doing them separate. I may eventually in the future do them together, but for now they're gonna stay totally separate. So make sure you watch the next video because it's gonna have that, and I think that'll be a lot of fun. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you'll let me know how your pictures look, and I will see you on the next lesson. All right, here we go. So with colors, you kind of do a similar thing to ink where you can overlap over the tops of different colors, and that will give you different shades of that color. So her hair is really dark. I'm gonna go with a gray right over the top of her hair. And the idea is that that should give us some really cool accents. So let's just go, and I'm gonna use my marker right over the top. I'm gonna go the same direction that her hair goes. The idea behind that is that any, essentially any blotches that you see from the marker will go with the hair. So we'll go just like that, and then I'm gonna come down and fill all this in. It goes a lot quicker than the ink because I've got this wide pen. So I'm gonna just fill all this in and keep on following the direction of the hair. Come all the way down. And you kind of start to see, you can still see the ink coming through. But now we've got her hair all dark, like it's supposed to be, with those highlights. So pretty cool, huh? Just gonna follow this through. Unlike the ink, where I'll let the ink kind of go over and be messy, I don't really want the marker to do that because it will look like I just spilled some paint. I don't really want to look like I spilled paint. So that kind of doesn't really look like it was artistic as much as just a total accident. So I am gonna somewhat color in the lines. That way you're good to go. So Just fill this in. These markers do kind of bleed a bit, so kind of have to follow right on through. Just like that. Okay, there we go. So we got her hair. Move that over there. Now I'm gonna do her skin, and the color I'm gonna use is called, where is the color? Skin White, that's what it's called. Interesting color name. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna color right like this, just back and forth, right over where her skin goes. And the nice thing is I am gonna come back with a different color to go over any shaded areas. So, see, and look right there, I just went right over. So now I'm gonna fix that with making her hair a little bit longer. See, gotta be careful, gotta be careful. All right, so now I'm gonna just follow this around. And I'm gonna kind of go down like this because essentially the way the face is curved, ooh, that bled quite a bit. Not a whole lot I can do about that. Dang it. So you gotta be careful. Gotta be careful when you're doing color. I thought I'd let it dry quite a bit, but apparently not. So that's all right. We'll just keep on trying. Go down. I think it'll still be okay. It's just frustrating when it's not the intent. Okay, so we'll go like that, down, and just keep filling in right across. Give us that, okay? And then we'll come down the arms. So just all the way down, like that, all the way up, just like that. On that arm, let's go on this one. All right, so now that we have her skin kind of set up like that, we'll now I'm taking this color, it's called just Flesh, and I'm gonna go over a couple of the areas right over the top. So like her ear, anywhere I want some shadow, I'm gonna add that. I'm gonna actually just run it down there, and a bit like that. And I'm just gonna go right over the top. It's gonna essentially give me a bit of shadow where I want it. Right there. Already did that side. Come down in here. So see, just a little shadow. I'm gonna go right under here. So you can go right over the top of the marker. Gives you all kinds of cool looks. So might as well go right through there. Call that good. All right, I am gonna do with my red pen, since she generally has a red tie, I'm gonna do red on the inside of her mouth here and the tie. All right, now we'll do cool gray. And cool gray, I'm hoping this looks right, is gonna go and help me do some shadows just right on her shirt. So anywhere that I did a little bit of ink on the shirt, I'm gonna just go right through with this and essentially just add a little bit of shading. You're always very kind of intimidating when you're doing markers right over the top of something you just drew, especially when you're like, is this gonna look okay? Is this gonna look bad? And it's always scary. Scary for me anyway. So just all these areas where I did shadow already, I'm gonna kind of add that in. All right, I like that. I'm gonna do now a full background for her. That way the white is gonna look like it's part of the drawing. I'm gonna just literally go border and just all the way across like that. There we go. Just having some fun. Doing some coloring today. I don't normally do this, and I thought, hey, let's do it, let's video it. It'll be kind of fun. Blend that a little. So that's what we're doing. We're having a little fun, doing something different. Why not, right? Don't mind if this one overlaps a little because it is a lighter color. I don't want to go crazy just in case it messes up the hair. All the way down like that, and then I'm gonna just like this, all the way up. Just a little bit of that. All right, let's go over to this side. Bit the top of this. Be careful not to go right over the top of my skin. I figure if everybody likes this, I might start adding color to everything. Just kind of depends on what everybody else thinks. There we go. All right, let's go down here. Fill all this in. Cool. I think I like it. We'll see when it's done. It's hard to tell until we're done. But I think I'm a fan. I'm just gonna finish up this background and then we'll make a choice of if we think this was a good idea or if we just ruined our ink drawing. I already took pictures of it, so worst case, if I'm not a huge fan, I still have pictures. So it's not like it was a total loss, right? So we'll just throw that in like that. Right in here. Some details like that. All right, there we go. What do you think? I like it. I think it turned out pretty good. I think it gives Momo a bit of, that color kind of is kind of cool. I like both versions, but I like this colored version quite a bit. So there we go. There's my colored version of Momo. So, you know, if you're gonna do your own coloring, go through, you can kind of add colors over the top of other colors to kind of maintain your shading. You can see I did gray just right over the top of her hair, and you can still see what I was doing. So I hope you had fun, hope you like it, and I will see you on the next lesson.